Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and welcome to another Free Play Friday. We are on a series of what to do with dark cardstock, and we're doing black cardstock again today. This is number 3. We're going to be going over 3 different colored pencils, and we're going to be doing doodling and things like that. Now don't worry if you can't draw. I'm going to show you how to use all of your little punches that look like this to create some stencils so that you can get some really cool effects, even if you feel like you can't be a doodler. Although, I know you can. So we're going to get started right off the bat. Thank you, Susan, so much for being here. W. Bailey. Move these little guys out of the way. Here's a card that I created that was in our thumbnail. Just a really fun background that was embossed. And then a dark cardstock, a black cardstock, excuse me, with doodles on it. And it looks really cool. It really pops, right? So that's what we're going to be working on today. And then eventually we'll take some of our doodles or whatever we have at the end and create a card, something like that. Happy Friday, everybody. Woot woot. I am super stoked. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because tomorrow is the next Crafty online garage sale. And I'm featuring Tim Holtz this week. Lori got ill, which is fine. Poo-poo happens, and I was going to run it on my own. I got it all set up. However, we have one of our own that has stepped forward to join in for that and to help me tomorrow. And her name, I don't know if she wants me to say who it is. I'm going to say who it is. It's Cindy. Cindy Wong, and is going to step forward. She lives not too far from me, and so she's going to help me out. So let's get started right away. We're going to be talking about Prismacolor. The Furbies, which if you're following this series, you've already seen these at work, and they're fabulous. And then if you can't afford the Furbies, those are a little bit more expensive, or the Prismacolor, you can go straight for the colored pencils from Walmart, and you can also get these on Amazon. They're linked below. The Crazy Art, C-R-A-Z-A-R-T, Crazy Art, and you get a whole ton of them, like 72 colors for like $5. It's like really cheap. So it's up to you which one you want. I'm going to show you a little bit about what each one looks like on black cardstock, and then we'll do some fun doodling. We'll hang out, we'll try some stuff, and then we'll create a card. Don't forget to bring out your white gel pen because these can really make things pop. Super fun. Let's start out with, I'm just going to pull out a ruler. Super easy, and we're going to just do like some stripes. So let's do the stripes with the Furby since we have these out right now. Do these, I don't think these are named by color, but they have like these numbers on the edge, but I don't really worry too much about that. This is sort of a green color, so I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit, move it over, and then go back and forth a little bit and make a darker line. See that? That's really visible on the camera, isn't it? Hey, Penny! Monica, Sandy, Chrissa, who else am I missing? Arrow Mama, Kathy Godwin, Barbara Eastock, Monica Halverson, Diane Arns, W. Bailey, Chrissa, who am I missing? Suzette Bradley, Monica Halverson, Sandy Marino, Huntress Habits. Okay, super cool, right? You can really see that green pop. These are the Furbies. F-E-R-B-Y, they're made by Lyra, or Lyra. So Lyra, right there you can see it, L-Y-R-A, makes the Super Furby. And that's what I'm using right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this. You don't have to be as exact as I'm being, you know, just have fun with this. Just go nuts, make some lines, make some squiggles, whatever. You can make a really cool background that sticks out. This doesn't have to be your focal point. Like we did on this card, where it was the focal point, doesn't have to be the focal point. This could just be you're creating a really fun, interesting background. And then people will be like, oh, how'd you do that? That's so cool. I'm going to go ahead and do another one on this side. And I just keep moving the ruler over to make the line thicker. You can do this freehand too. You don't have to like make sure that it's absolutely perfect. I'm going to do one on this side too. Oop, I bounced off. So because I did that, I'm going to make my line really thick on this side and just fill it in. Okay. Super cool. Let's go ahead and add some more color here. We've got a purple one. I think that would look really cool. I've got some green on the side of my ruler that's super standing out there. I'm just going to take a quick baby wipe and wipe that off just in case so it doesn't smear all together. Hi, Elise and Dawn. Set that off to the side. Where's my towel? Right behind me. Okay, let's hit this up with some purple, shall we? The other cool thing that went out this week was the beta sale of my sign language course, which a lot of people were really interested in the group. So if you were interested and you answered that poll, you got first dibs on joining that class at 80% off of what the course is going to cost on September 1st when it launches. That looks so cool. From Moses Lake, Washington. Hi, Sherry. Dawn Taylor, Peggy Lowry. So some of you guys signed up. I'm going to take 10 different people, just 10 for right now, to work out the quirks and see how things go, how you like it, what's missing, that type of thing. Take all your feedback and make the class better. And it will launch then on Teachable on September 1st. So if you want to get in on that class before the price skyrockets there by 80%, go ahead and answer that email. If you haven't gotten the email, send your email to Penny Ratcliffe. I think she's in here today. And we'll get you that email sent out. Just in case we skipped you somehow. That's so pretty. It just shines. It just stands out on that black cardstock. Yellow or gold is speaking to me now. Let's see if we can get a little bit of gold in here. I'm going to go ahead and freehand this. I'm going to do like a, almost like two lines, but like they're not going to be perfect. They're going to be like crisscross. And I don't know, I didn't make this up ahead of time. I just thought that's what came to my mind at this point in time, and so that's what I'm going to go with. Sometimes I think that we just don't trust our artistic intuition. Like we always have to have some sort of a plan. And you don't have to have a plan. Thanks, Betty. Hi, Gretchen. Joy McCoy. Who else am I missing? I hope I didn't miss anyone else. You know, I have a predicament because I don't have a big fat sharpener, that's what I wanted to say, to sharpen these Furbies, because they're actually like triangular and they're really big. And my pencil sharpeners don't go that big, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. Now, I did mention for us to bring out our white gel pens. So what I'm going to do here is just use my white gel pen to create another effect of stitching through here. And we're just having fun with this, doing some creative things with a dark background, which is something that sometimes we skip over. Like, we use the dark papers more, I feel, my opinion, you know, more for like outlining something. Like when we're stacking or framing, we use that. But not as much as our actual focal point or the actual, you know, piece that we're working on as the big deal. And so, that looks neat. I think I'll finish that up on this side. We don't have to color all the black, because just like when you're working with a white card, you want some white space to balance it out, right? So how cool is that? That is just a really neat way to start off a background. We might use that in our card. I really, really like that. That was with the Furbies. Let me write this on the back here. A contractor pencil sharpener from the Home Depot. Thanks, Arrow Mama. I will check that out. Let's have a drink while we're working on things here. Just, what is this thing called, a plan you speak of? I think some beginners, maybe, I don't know, like, really like to have a plan. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. That's just my style. I'm going to write down that this was Lyra Furby. Just so if we go back, before we make our card, we'll know this was made by the Lyra Furbies. Okay, and that's the background that we got. So cute. Cheers. I forgot to say cheers. Okay, let's switch gears now and use Prismacolor. I'm going to save the cheapies for the end because I love the cheapies. These are Prismacolors, and I have a wonderful set of 24 pencils. And I got that from a really great friend. She knows who she is. Thanks, friend. Let's go ahead and with this one, I'm going to pull out a piece of paper. I want some butterflies on this one. I'm going to go ahead and as far in as I can get, just so that it's in the middle, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put that right in the middle. You can do a bunch of them if you want at one time. I'm just going to do one for now. Save that punch if you feel like it. We might want to use that on a card later. And I want butterflies on here. So I'm going to start out doing some blue butterflies. Now, the more intricate you get it, the harder it's going to be to go back and forth over it because we might catch that paper, but I'm hoping to not be too bad. If you can't like go over it like this, like all the way over it like this to fill it in, just go ahead and use like a regular stencil and go around the edges first and then fill in the middle. Sometimes if they're basic enough, you'll be able to just go right over the top. So look at that. How cool. That's a Prismacolor. Let's go ahead and put on a couple more blue ones and then we'll switch color. These are absolutely luscious. I really, really like the Prismacolor. They're waxy, but they're almost like a waxy lipstick. They're so smooth. You can feel the difference when you're using them. And look at that full coverage. The best white gel pen on the planet, to answer Dawn Taylor's question, is the Signo Uniball gel pen. This one right here. I've tried a ton of them. I absolutely swear by this one. Uniball Signo Broad White Gel Pen. If you're looking for these, you can find them on qualitycrafts.com under tools. Otherwise, they sell them in packs on Amazon as well. I'm going to do one more blue. And then I'm going to switch over. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a yellow one because I think yellow is really going to pop too. And actually, you know what? I'm going to switch over and I'm going to do one with the stars. And I hope this one works because this fell apart this weekend. And I put it back together. Ooh, it's still working. Sort of. See, like the whole thing just fell apart. There's a spring in here. And the spring wasn't springy enough, so I had to stretch that out and put it all back together. And then put the whole thing back together. And it worked. And now, see now when it's not popping back up again, I'll have to go in and reset that spring again. But we've got a couple of stars to work with. So let's go ahead and do some yellow stars. This time I'm going to try just going right over the top of this. The difference is going over the top of that with the little stars. Do you see how I didn't get a lot of the points on the tiny one? So let's try going over that again. Might just because might not be able to get that tiny just because my colored pencils are kind of fat. That's not so bad. Do a couple more here. Really pushing it into those edges. Trying to get those points on those stars. I have larger stars too, so don't get discouraged. You can always try your bigger ones. Okay, and Prisma actually comes with a white pen. Or a white pencil, I meant to say. And so I'm going to use the white pen to show where the butterflies have come from. Loop-de-loop. Look at that. That's fun. Okay, so right now we're just playing around, and this one we used a couple of Prismacolors, so let's go ahead and flip this around, use the gel pen, and put on here Prisma. If you're just joining us, we're playing around with dark cardstock. This is number 3 in the series, so you might want to go back and watch number 1 and number 2. We're still on black cardstock. Next week we will do Kraft cardstock, and we'll do coloring on Kraft cardstock. So this one was Prisma colored pencils. We're doing all colored pencils today. These were the Furby, Lyra Furbies. There it is. Lyra Furby. If you're looking for those, they should be linked down below. And the next thing we're going to do are the crazy arts, and that's the cheapest ones you can get. So let's see how these turn out. I've got a whole bunch of colors, so I keep them in this tin can. Let's try some of this out. Let's do just some freehand stuff here. I'm going to find another yellow because, you know, they turn out really cool. And I'm going to do... yeah, I think I'll just do freehand. I was thinking that maybe I wanted to do another punch, but I think we've done a few punches. That's good enough. So let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I'll just do some flowers. So I will start with the center of my flower. Ah, Tammy, you made it! Yay! Yep, keeping them sharp will help with your stencils. Or you can make bigger stencils or whatever you need. Now, when I do flowers and I want them to be, you know, even number of petals or whatnot, I kind of go by the points on a clock. So I'm doing noon, 3, 6, and 12. And then I'm just going to put 2 in between each one. I don't know if that'll help anybody out if you guys already had that figured out. It's helpful in getting stuff in there. I may have to... It didn't help me make my petals all exactly the same, but flowers in nature don't look exactly the same. So it's always better to have them just a little bit wonky to make them look a little bit more realistic. Let's do this one. This is like a bright pink. Let's see how this turns out. I'm going to color in about half of it. Not real impressed with the bright pink, but it is showing up. We're going to add more. We're not going to leave it like that. So does everybody have something super cool planned to do this weekend? Oh, Elaine! Welcome from Idaho! There's a special pencil sharpener for the triangle colored pencils. Thanks, Connie. I'll have to look for that. Only 9 thumbs up. Susan Baker, she's our thumbs up watcher. Give it a thumbs up if you're really enjoying this video, or this series if you've seen some of the rest of it. I'm going to go in now with what I thought was like an orange. This is kind of an orangey yellow. Now let's go with something different. Let's go in. I got a black t-shirt on. No worries. Family friendly show here. Need a little air. It's been so cool, like cool weather and nice outside today that it feels stuffier down here. I guess that's just kind of the way it goes. Let's see. How about this like periwinkle blue? That's kind of cool. Are these named? Oh, luscious lavender. That doesn't look luscious lavender to me. Heaven sent with love. I'm late, but I made it. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go right beside that bright pink and see if we can't pop that out together. I should have named off what that bright pink color was. Oh well. I'm going to go right next to it. And that ought to pop it out. We're just playing around with colored pencils to see what kind of things we can get them to do. That looks kind of cool. For backgrounds and also for, I'm going to use this green too. Pastel green. Backgrounds as well as focal points. So not only can we do backgrounds like we've done here with the Prima and here with the Lyra Furby colored pencils, but you can do focal points, kind of like this card that was made ahead of time. And it does pop out at you. I do have some of the pieces popped up on double-sided foam to get that look. And I'm going to add a little of this pastel green, kind of right towards the bottom. Not a lot of it, just a little bit. This is just me doodling away. You guys can do whatever colors you want, whatever kind of colored pencils you want. Right now, these are the cheapest colored pencils I believe that you can find. And these are Crazy Art. I'm going to put that on the back here in case you guys forgot how it goes. It's capital C-R-A dash capital Z dash capital A-R-T. Crazy Art. Crazy Art. And as you can see, just about any kind of pencil that you use, I'm going to go around those green. See if I can get this to go. I've been using this one a lot. Maybe it's just getting old. Grab another one. I've had luck in the past going right over the top of this wax with these before, but right now it just doesn't seem to want to go. Let's go around it with, does this one have a white? I think it does. Oh, this is a blending pencil. In case you guys don't have one of these, a Prismacolor blender. We'll talk about this one in a different video, but I'm just going to move that one off to the side. Here's a white. Let's go ahead and just circle around these green ones with the white since my gel pen is just being fussy. It's just paper, guys, so if you get something down like this and you don't like it, you can just start over or flip it over and do it on the back. See, I really do like the way that white pops out. Let's do... Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can get this gel pen to do white centers. I think that would be cool. So a couple of bigger ones on one side down to some smaller ones on the other side. Cute! Right? Sometimes if you go super light though, it will go over the top of a waxy thing. I've done it before in other projects. It's just you have to go super light. You see how I got that? Oops, I got that one to go. And it will sit on top of that wax. If that roller can get moving, it will come out and sit there. I've got a couple going. The blender pen actually works kind of like if you use alcohol markers. The blending pencil blends the colors just like a blending marker would blend your alcohol markers. So to get this look to go over the top, you just have to press really super lightly, give that ball a chance to roll on top of that wax. And then you can get some pretty cool white effects. Yeah, that looks really awesome. So I'm a lot more happy with that than I was previously. There we go. So that could totally be, the pen was just being fussy. That's right, Dawn. Okay. That was great. Those were crazy arts. So we've gone through the 3 types of colored pencils that I have here now. Let me just bring these in so that you can see them. These are the Furbies. They're a German-made colored pencil. They're triangular, and they're much thicker. You can see how big those points are. They're very metallic, and we made that background with them. Very, very nice. If you can afford them, those are really cool. These are also extremely bright, and they're Prismacolors. And I have a tin. Let me just move these guys out of the way. A tin of 24 colors. And we created that fun little background. And then the crazy arts we used to create this flower. Okay, so let's use these to create some cards. Because you can use the medium that you have, your choice, whatever you choose to purchase today. The links are down below in the description box. If you don't have any and you're looking to get some. If we do a card, a white card like the one that we presented in the beginning. Yeah, let me pull that card out for you. With our black piece as a centerpiece. Ooh. Let's just flip that over. We'll put the yuck on the other side. We can add an embossed piece to the top. I'm going to go ahead and just cut down my embossed piece just a little bit. I did a little sunburst ahead of time, so I can go ahead and pop that up, or I can put that flat onto it. Doesn't really matter which. But I'm always in love with popping stuff up, so let's go ahead and do that. Which way do I want it to go? This way. Crayola pencils, absolutely. Guys, you can use any pencils that you have. Try them out, see what happens. The worst is you say, well, I have them, but they just don't work for this technique. No big deal. Yeah. It is a sunburst embossed. It's, I don't even know. The sunburst is embossed. So I'm going to put this one right on the top here. And you can add color if you want. I'm just going white. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this guy out. I'm going to use him as the focal point. I'm just cleaning off my little scissors here. I'm not going to cut directly right next to it. I'm going to leave a little bit of a black, kind of a halo around it. And actually I'm going to go all the way around it to save a little bit of that black, because we'll probably add some leaves or some fun little detailing of some sort. And I really feel like when you're doing these doodle type things, you don't have to be really super specific. I was totally out of frame there. I apologize for that. I just went and did that super quick. Because it's a doodle, nobody's going to be like, oh, that wasn't so perfect. Right? And so he's going to go like right in the center of that. And I'm going to pop him up too. Just because I can. That was crazy art. We cut him all up. So now that he's popped up on the white, it looks like it's losing a little bit of its color, but in person you can still really totally see that, and it looks super cool. So let's add just a little bit of some leaves of some sort. This was crazy art, so I'm going to stick with the crazy art pencils, and I'm going to make some leaves. They don't have to be super great leaves, right, because these are kind of doodles. So I'm using a light green and a dark green. This one's Eco Green. Eco Green. I'm just going to make a pattern in here. I don't know, I think that looks cool. And then I'm going to do one more. I think we'll either do 2 or 3, I'm not sure which. Let's try 2 and see what we get. So we can put one here. And one here. You know what? I think 2 is perfect. I'm going to leave these flat so it seems like they're coming out from underneath the plant or the flower. And just put these down with a little bit of Aleene's wet glue. I still have a set of Mango watercolor pencils from high school more than 60 years ago. Woo! Elaine, you should try them puppies out. I'd like to see if they still work. I don't know Mango. Alrighty, so there we got that. We used that one as the focal point, just like we did on this one. Simple to do. You could pump out one of these cards if you're good at doodling in just a couple of minutes, right? Now let's use one of the other ones that we have that was a background. Get rid of some of these scraps. Put my crazy arts away. This says Barb P on it because I got some stuff from her a while back. And I really like this one that we got with the Furbies. This is super cool. So we're going to use this as our background. But I'm going to cut it down a little bit because I'm going to use a white card base. And actually, this one's a little bit skinnier than it should be. Where's my other base? Oh, I chopped it up. I chopped it up being creative, so I'm going to have to chop up another one. So like I said, this one was done with Furby markers by Lyra. Bye, Tammy. We'll see you later, Tater. And that way, if we give it a white border, everything's really going to pop off there. That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go and ATG this down. Oh, by the way, this one was colored with Lyra's Furbies by Lyra. And so this way, we're using it as a background instead of as a focal point, like this one. Oh, cool. We could put a sentiment or something on here. Let's do that. I'll grab another piece of black. You know, I always mean to put out the explanation of what's going on today, and I just forget to click it, put it out there. Oh, Elaine, that would be awesome. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're working on some kind of a sentiment, a focal point for this card. And since we don't have a lot of time left, I'm not going to pick something that I would have to do a lot of coloring with. Let me pick a couple of punches here and see if this works out. This one's really big. Ooh, what if we punched this out just for the heck of it? See that piece that I have? It's like alligator skin. Let's see if we can get that to go through this punch. Ooh, it did. It did. So that will be kind of where we're going to put the sentiment, but we're going to pop a piece of black in here. That's a little bit too small. I want my white to be that. Got another piece of some little whites left. That's where I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment. So I'm going to need this circle to be bigger. And I'm pretty sure I have, that was 1 3/4. Almost positive I have a 2-inch. Let me check. A 2-inch. I could use one bigger than a 2-inch actually. Let's try this. There we go. And so that will go in there. You could do a strip. You don't have to do a circle. Maybe you don't like the way that looks and you just want to put a little one right in the corner. You could do that. You could do a square with a circle. Looks almost like a camera. You can play around with it. Use whatever you have in your stash to make these happen. You could put a little butterfly on there. We could cut that out. Butterfly it up. Like that. I'm going to stick with the one that I originated with. I just wanted to show you some other things. We could make this into a card. center it around one of them and then pop up the other one that we had. Just maybe go in a different direction. I don't know, wherever. And then the stars that we had left over, we could pop those on here as well. And the baby star got away from me. Where'd you go? Here, little baby star. There he is. There we go. So that would make another whole background, right? We could just play around with that. Use everything that we got going on. I actually kind of like that. Do you need punches if you have a Cricut? Suzette, that's a great question. When I got my Silhouette Cameo, which is kind of like a Cricut, I thought, I'm not going to need punches anymore. And then I realized there are some things that I need a punch for, like doing this kind of a thing. I'm not going to take time to put that on my Cricut when I could punch it out within seconds. So it ended up that not only do I have a Cameo Silhouette for more intricate and longer cutting things, but then I also have dies and I have punches and I use them interchangeably. So yeah, I think personally I use them all for different techniques and different styles of things, and depends on how quickly I want something put out. So if you have a Cricut, I think you're still going to want some of your punches hanging around just for the techniques that you see, and you don't bump yourself on the head and go, oh, I got rid of all those and now I can't do that. Alright, so that's my answer to that. Other people may have a different opinion. It's totally up to how you want to craft. How many techniques do you want to be able to do? That kind of thing. Cheers, guys! Well, Sandia! Hello! Okay, let's go ahead and finish this one off. I am just going to glue this one down. We have to think of a saying or a sentiment that's going to go on here. Only some of this is raised, so I'm just going to like helter-skelter just, I gotta refill this and I just haven't taken the time. Glue all over it, and so it catches in certain spots. The other thing you could do is, you could rough up the edges. That would be cute too. So if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying this series or you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Give me a big thumbs up. My videos are live every Wednesday. A 1 in 10 by Jen every Wednesday, and a Friday free play like tonight where we work on something and I teach you how to do something every Friday, and both of those videos start at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're welcome, Suzette. Thanks for the question. I don't mind answering questions. I can give you my best information that I can, and that's all I can do. So here, at this point, this looks really cool. You could go ahead and stamp something on here and white emboss it, which would look really awesome. Or you can black emboss on the white one and put it on top. I personally think this is too much white. So I'm going to take this off. And even though it's kind of bumpy underneath, I think I'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and stamp something on here and emboss it in white so it stands out. So let me grab my white, and we got to worry about our sentiment now. What do we want to put on there? I got my white embossing powder. I recommend making your scrap space kind of like mine, where it's in a big U. So like everything that you want is like within reach, you know, in a certain boundary, so you're not chasing all over for it. I get more done that way. And I'm going to clean up a little bit because I want space for myself to do this so that I don't get powder all over and all that stuff. Move some of these out of the way. We're going to use white embossing powder. I put most of my embossing powders in here, especially the ones that I use often. And then I always have some kind of a little spoon or something to be able to pick that up with. And now today I'm going to be remembering to use my little embossing buddy sock, which I never ever remember. I'm actually going to remember it this time. And I'm going to put that on first so I don't forget. Because some of you guys are watching me. Some of you guys really pay attention to what I'm doing over here. We need some sentiment, so you guys know where I'm going, I'm sure. I'm heading over to May Made It stamp sets because I love them. And I really think a friend loves at all times is a really cool sentiment. So let's go with that one. I need a little black. Ooh, this one's dirty. I'll have to clean my blocks. And a little bit of Versamark. My Versamark happens to be really dirty, but you'll notice when you do this, it doesn't really matter. I do have a clean Versamark that I use for other things, but this is my dirty one. Hey, I'm just going to give that time for that to transfer over and then lift it up. You should be able to see that pretty clearly on video right now. It's just a clear sticky ink so that the powder has something to grab onto. Looks like that worked out really well. Now we're going to heat it up. Set that powder. Move that out to the side because you don't want powder flying everywhere. That would not be good. Turn on my heat gun. Bye, Joy. See you tomorrow. And a lot of times you want to do your embossing first because it does warp. Do you see how my card warped right here? I'm just going to go ahead and bend it back into place. No big deal. And so now it's not so white. And you could take some of your Furbies and make another color around this edge if you really wanted to. Like, I feel like purple would look really good there, since we did purple in the beginning. But my purple is getting really worn down here. Oh, we're going to get a little bit of that texture from underneath, too. So now I got a little purple there. Ooh, that looks even cooler. Fun, right? So use what you have. Try things out. Don't be afraid to experiment. And we'll go over what we've accomplished today. And I remember to use my little tool. I'm so excited. Actually, do we have time? Do we want to make this one into a card? Let's do that. Let's just put it on a white or a black background. So we used one of them as a focal point. This one we used as the background. This one we used as the focal point. This one was made with Lyra Furby colored pencils, and if you can afford to get those, they're a German-made one. They're a little bit more expensive, but look how bright they are. These are the cheaper ones. They still look really cool, and they look awesome in person. They're not picking up quite as much on the camera. But these are the Crazy Arts, and I still really love them. I use them all the time. And then the beginner one for the video, I did this one. And just a doodle. I put baby powder in my sock. Some people don't like the baby powder. You could use, what's that stuff? Cornstarch. Some people just are allergic to or don't like the smell of baby powder, or they feel like somehow it's damaging to your lungs. I don't use it that much that I really feel like it would damage anything. But I like the smell of baby powder, so that's what's in mine. And you can use whatever you want to put in yours, as you know, as long as it's like a drying source. I wonder if, yeah, let's go ahead and cut some of this down. Excellent. And we can put a piece of white there as well. And these we did with the Prismacolor. I'm just adding a layer of white. Oh, Sherry, I like the way you think. We used to do that back in the day. Use a dryer sheet, too. That way you don't have to create or buy anything. That is, assuming you use dryer sheets. I still do. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down so that we've got a nice little teeny white border around the edge. And then, I'll make sure this opens the right way because I've often put them on wrong. That looks cool. I hope I have enough ATG to get through this card. Either that or you'll get... Oh, nope, there it goes. I was going to say either that or you're going to get to watch me replace this. Connie Johnson said you can get powders at the store now that have cornstarch rather than talcum, which is what is a biohazard. So I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to put in a new roll. And I am surrounded by garage sale stuff in here. Alright, if you purchase these kind of refills from me at qualitycrafts.com, you will not get the ones that have these gigantic holes in them. You're going to get the one that has the smaller holes in it, so it's going to stay in your machine tighter than these would. I'm using these up because I have no problems with them. So it goes out like a snail around, and then you just push your button and make sure that it all goes on, and then stick your other back on. Make sure your sticky's on the right side, and then let her roll. Okie dokie. There we go. And we need a teeny tiny bit. No big deal. I feel like putting the extra, or let me get my brain wired back in here. I feel like putting the ATG gun in, the tape into the gun is just so much simpler than sometimes people make it out to be. Although the more you use it, the easier it gets, right? So you just gotta keep that in mind. There's always a learning curve to most things. So instead of getting frustrated, it's easier to just keep trying until you get it, and then you never have to worry about it again, like riding a bike. And there we go. We could even spray this. Before I put those pieces on, we could have sprayed that and made it more of like a ethereal, like background, like the space and all that kind of stuff. That's so trendy right now. So we are at the final ends. Let's just show these 3 cards that we made today. I do not sell the gun in my store, Suzette, but if you look below on Amazon, you will find one listed there. And actually on Amazon right now, they're pretty inexpensive. I think it's only like $21 for the gun and 2 refills. Pretty awesome. Hi, Sharon Perky. Hi, Tamitha. Connie, Suzette, I must have missed a couple of you. Debbie Evans. Yeah. So this was the one that was in the thumbnail. And our purpose was to show how you could use several different kinds of colored pencils tonight. Let me move this over because my Prismas are buried. We used a Prismacolor. Thank you, Tamitha. So our Prismacolor is on this one right here. Really pretty, very vibrant. Our Lyra, our Furbies by Lyra, we used on this background. Super vibrant. So those are the 2 most vibrant ones you can get. And then on this one that we used to create the focal point of the flower and the leaves, which is still really cool. And you could add Nouveau drops and stickles and all kinds of stuff and just even make it pop more. I mean, there's so many ideas. I just can't cover them all. But we did this with the crazy art, which you get all these colors for like $5. If you look in the description box below, you'll see many of these things that I used today already listed for you. And I do affiliate with them, so if you buy through Amazon, even if you get in there and you're like, nah, I don't really want that, but I need dog food tonight, and I need this and some other things. It doesn't matter what you purchase. If you go in my link and you purchase anything, that helps out the KTC community here and keeps my channel going. So, thank you to all you guys who do use my links. I always link them in the description box below so that you can see what I'm using. And if ever there's one that you don't find, you can always catch me on Facebook, where we have a group called Quality Crafts, and that is no commitment, no drama group. So you guys just come on over, join us there. You don't have to worry about being kicked out if you don't do something quarterly or however some people do that. I would like to say at the end of this video, if you guys don't mind, I started out on Facebook swapping in a group called Addicted to Card Making, and Jen Rains ran that group, and she was an awesome lady, and she was lovely and generous and just a beautiful, beautiful person. And she ran that group, and she passed away this week. All I know is that she passed away in her sleep. So I hope that everything was fine before then. I don't even know that. So just a moment of silence for that crafty friend of ours. I know a lot of you guys knew her. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you all. If you really like this, give it a thumbs up. Tomorrow is the great big online crafty garage sale. I hope to see a lot of you guys there. I've got everything set up and ready to rock and roll, and I can't wait to see you guys next video.